What is up, everyone? This is Zim Zimma, and you are on Chatting with Zim. This is episode number 17. So, just a little quick update. We couldn't have Quantum Caps on earlier today, so she rescheduled. So that's okay. It happens. Hopefully, everything's okay and everything's going by smoothly. First of all. Second of all, thank you guys for tuning in. Today we got Armando Ramirez. You can find him at Armando Ramirez _art. He's actually running a little late, so I'm hoping he comes in. You know what I'm saying? I told him to come in whenever he's available. If it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? If it doesn't happen, this show never happened. And episode 17 will just get redone again. Maybe? I don't know. But this is supposed to be the year ender, guys. Fucking Happy New Year, guys. So I guess while we wait, let's take some time and let me thank you guys for not right now, man. I'm still waiting on him, and I want to try to keep the show to him in case he comes. But you know, when if you guys ever get a little thirsty, I always like to sit down and quench my thirst with Coca-Cola. That's right, guys. Coca-Cola, buy Coca-Cola, are new sponsors for Chatting with Zim. They humbly sent me this, which I had to pay for. And now let's take this time to thank everyone, everyone from our guests to you guys followers, guys who see this stuff. Thank you guys for making the show what it is. Weak. Butthole. Thank you for making the show what it is, guys. Thank you for coming along and showing some interest in this escapade as we travel and go through time and stuff. Also, a huge shout out to all my previous guests this past year, or I should say these past few months, you know, for making everything possible, you know. So, at Josh Queen CRL, at Connie Arts, at Delatorre Comics, art _by _Grantdale 98, Phalo Halo, TS Art Designs, you know it, _dude _art, at Picture Player, at Chicano Yokai, at Bruce13art. We also had at Zombie Taco, and that's pretty much it, man. We had to reschedule for James Art 42, which I think he'll be in sometime next year. And so is Quantum Caps. Thank you guys for finding that interest, and hopefully have you guys on in this new year coming up. I think for next week we have Chachi Fett coming on next Sunday. He's part of something new that we've been doing. Myself am partaking in it. I'm part of a MAC crew, the Mac crew. You know, we do a bunch of just a bunch of art. And in case you guys ain't following, follow us at m.a.c. So Mac crew. Jesus Christ, I can't remember right now. Everything's off script. Everything's going haywire. Not really. A little bit. So we're also gonna have a few more people. I think James is coming back next week along with Chachi. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the thing is. I gotta look into the everything else. But you know, hopefully everything's cool. Guys, Happy New Year. This will be the last show for the 2019 circa. You know, hopefully we're going guns a-blazing in the 2020s. I'm looking forward to that. and that's just whatever feedback you guys have. Make sure you guys are following, subscribe to the actual YouTube account, the YouTube channel at the Real Zim Zimmo, or just type in Chatting with Zim, and we should pop out. And many different ways you could do it. Type in your favorite artist, and they might pop out in there if I had an episode with them. It's cool to know this is episode, I think, 17, man. So it's been up there. We've been making progress. Everybody else who I've mentioned before, make sure you guys follow them. There's always leave me comments if you guys want regarding the show. Stuff that you might want to see, stuff that we might do. I'm thinking about next year trying to do, just more promotions, more giveaways and stuff like that. That's something I want to see for the future of the show. Eventually, let's see if we could get some artists to do something back. I know Halo did that once in episode 4, and that was pretty badass. That was his idea to do. As we patiently just wait for Armando, just a little bit more about him. He's artist, illustrator. He's done exclusive variant covers for companies, and he's also done projects for Marvel Upper Deck. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to talk to him. And this is hoping he comes in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as of right now, is there any of you guys want to see anything on there? Bruce 13 says sexy guy. Who, me or Armando? You know what I'm saying? Whoever's viewing, what do you guys like to see about the show? While we wait, I guess, for Armando to come in. Thank you. Thank you kindly. Is there anything you guys definitely want to check out later, or maybe introduce into the stream for the show and stuff? Right now, I'm just working on some stuff. I got some commissions. A commission that came in. I'm supposed to be doing a pet, a dog. And that's pretty much it, man. Been working on the slap game, so everybody who's following this whole slap game stuff, it's been pretty good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Keeping on the grind as always. Right now, just some stuff we're working on is I watch The Toys That Made Us. It's a Netflix series for you guys who don't know. They showcase a lot of different toys that came out, and stuff that inspired our generations, in the 30s, and old school cats. So I just started watching Ninja Turtles. I actually finished it, but inspired me to do some turtle little slaps, guys. The cool thing about these, you could go ahead and combine them. Not sure what I want to do with them. Get all your favorites in there, mix and match. I'm working on that, the new 2020. Actually, that's something I'm looking forward to. Is No Master Splinter. That'll be a nice one to do, So pop culture stuff related, there's a new Ghostbusters coming out next year, which is freaking badass. I wasn't a big fan of the all-girl crew. Nothing against girls, but I'm a classic type of guy. Just want to see the classics of this new spin-off that that's coming out in 2020. That's gonna be pretty dope, guys. My Christmas was pretty dope as well. I had a great Christmas with the family. Drank a little bit, got nice and buzzing. So Zim was doing all right, you know what I'm saying? I got some cool stuff. A little bit more of these figures for Christmas, which is pretty dope. For guys who don't know, I'm into figure collecting, so I got the 3-pack, the family pack, him and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. You know, and this guy, he's actually my favorite villain. I think he'd be my favorite villain of all time. I was actually working on a slap earlier this week of him, so... You know what I'm saying? Just did some more little quick sketches. Lord Dragon. Shout out to Matt Crew, guys. Thank you for showing that love. You know, throwing it back. Who remembers these guys? Actually got a match. Good and bad. Good versus evil. You know how we do. Do one without the helmet. I'll definitely do some more work, man, eventually. And like I said, right now we're waiting for Armando Ramirez, man. Hopefully he doesn't drag that much going on, and hopefully we're able to get this done. I will be here till 8 o'clock, gentlemen. You know what I'm? So bear with me. A little bit more about myself. You know, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I'm 34. Started when I was about 11. That's pretty good stuff. I just got inspired by a lot of people. Seen a lot of comics and stuff. If you guys, little fun fact, my favorite character, superhero, is Spider-Man. That's truly my favorite. I think, you know, if they were to ask me who do I like to draw a lot, then I think I say Spider-Man. He's fairly easy to do, you know what I'm saying? His flexibility allows you to put him just about crazy poses, you know, like Todd McFarlane did. Let's see. And everybody else for joining in. I mean, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Once again, we're patiently just waiting. Something from my teen ears is Butthole Wants to Know. You know what? Let's actually, I never really showed you guys, but let's see if I could do that for you, man. I doubt I have anything from my teen years here. I know I have that somewhere, and I had put all of that together. I just don't remember where I left it. It's got to be somewhere down there. But I mean, I got a shit ton of old art, stuff that I still got to do, put up on the site. So another little fun fact, I got my own site, you know what I'm saying? Website's coming up soon. Ooh, look at that. This is just some of my earlier work, either this year or last year. You know, you guys like any of this? This is all for sale. Did I say that? No, I didn't. So this is all old school stuff. If you guys like it, just DM me. Tell me what it is you guys like. And of course, just so much work, man. This is another little throwback. Who remembers that? Some Beetleborgs for you guys. Where my PlayStation head's at. PS1 head. Posters. Sometimes I do. I don't really get a lot of requests for posters. But sometimes I do make prints of them in poster size, and I could definitely go ahead and create that, you know. This is for the release of Captain Marvel. For my Power Ranger heads. This is last year. So these are all original, guys. Original works. Now, for guys who we're waiting for Armando Ramirez art. If you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you guys check them out. Make sure you guys go to Chatting with Zim or type in The Real Zim Zimmer on YouTube. Check out all these previous episodes with all these other artists. Make sure you guys follow them. Make sure you guys share the page. Subscribe, please. For all my pop heads, you know, Star Wars, The Mandalorian. I just finished watching the last episode. Awesome little series, little mini series. Stranger Things. Still waiting on season 3 there. Old school Wolverine, guys. Little gender bending. Did Raven as a male. Thought that would look cool. Man, this is from 2017. Holy crap. Well, there you go. 15 bucks shipped. First one, go ahead. DM me, guys. Hashtag Carnage. No, I'm just joking. I don't know about the hashtag. All my Freakazoid Saturday morning cartoons. Who remembers this? Thought I had to spice them up a little bit, you know? Huh. Pretty cool. Little graffiti for y'all. Notice. Runs around in underwear. Oh yeah, definitely does. And some stuff I did with black paper last year. I don't know. I ain't really feeling it. How you guys feel about that? Little quick doodles. Doodles and doodles. Let's see if I can find stuff. Oh, actually I have found some of my early work. Holy crap. So this is from 2002. Little crazy sketch. 2002, circa. For all my hip-hop heads out there who love the elements, this had to be like 2000, 2001. I should actually redo that, right? This is 2004. Spawn and Spider-Man, two of my favorite characters. This is 03. You know, this is 05. This is when I started really messing around with colors and acrylics a little more. So that's one of my old pieces there. One of the best old pieces I've done. Had some, I think this is one of my last ones I did. You know? You should know the Green Ranger. Man, this is some horrible painting. Yeah, I gotta start somewhere, right? Oh my God. Sometimes you gotta go back and see some of your old pieces, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I got more floating around here somewhere. I organized my my stuff that way, so somewhere on here. Just don't want to go and grab it. Be some dead air kind of shit, you know, going on. You know, and still no sign from Armando, man. Hopefully the homie's doing good. If anything, this show might never happen. I might even end up deleting it. And we'll take it over some other day. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff works like that, guys. You know, this is also an old one I did here. This is 7 years ago, 11, 12, 13. This was a Jason David Frank. You know what I'm saying, guys? This one actually never sold. I guess nobody wants Jason David Frank. This is before the introduction of that new character, Lord Draken. So I gotta redo this now. JDF. So Bruce 13 says nice, but fuck JDF. Man, for for anybody who's interested in that story, make sure you go on YouTube, go back to Chatting with Zim. I think it's on the bonus episode, the pre-Christmas episode. Find out, you know, fun facts about that, and see why some people don't like JDF. Very understanding reasons. Let me see what else. This is actually my graffiti book. My little custom book here. I had to do that myself. You know what I'm saying, guys? Cool little fun things I did with this. So I need some black light. You guys get it though. I think I gotta start messing around with those a little more. You know what I'm saying, guys? So right here, some old school shit. Old school crew, TBK. Truth be known. Shout out. And there he is, man of the hour, Armando. Welcome. Just showing them some of my old graffiti. And cool, let's get down to it. Well, everybody, it seems like Armando came in. Awesome, perfect time. Let's get into the show, shall we? The real meat and potatoes here. Let me go ahead and welcome Armando beam him up onto this mothership. Here we go. And away we go. My Rick and Morty fans out there. There he is.
Hey,
Man of the year.
Hey.
Nah, you look beautiful, bro.
I'm sorry, I got caught up with dinner and it was running late. Where we're at, it's still kind of crazy around the holidays.
Where's that at?
We're in Central Texas, Waco, Texas.
Waco, huh?
Yeah, Waco, you know where all the Magnolia shit's at?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets real, like, we have a lot of tourists around the holidays because they come to see the silos or whatnot.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you made it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me on here, bud.
Yeah. Let's we'll definitely see. We'll see where it goes, man. We'll see what we could do a little later. So let's start from the top, man. I was talking about you guys. First off, Happy New Year, man. This is the last episode of the year for Chatting with Zim. I had a lot of previous guests, and you're actually the last one for the year, man. So big congrats to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, tell him what he won, Johnny. Thanks again, man. I was introducing you as, artist, illustrator. You do a lot of exclusive variant work. You've done stuff for like Upper Deck with working with Marvel and stuff. So, and then your fucking art is amazing, bro. It's definitely, I love the style. Very, I wouldn't say dark, but very, I don't know, man. I don't know what the right word is to say. It's there, though.
It's dark, man. It's funny because, like, if I had the choice, I always end up getting a lot of horror gigs.
Oh, nice.
And horror, but to be honest, man, I mean, honestly, I'd like to work on a lot of fantasy stuff, man, because that's kind of what I grew up reading, a lot of Conan.
Okay.
And looking at a lot of like Frank Frazetta art and Boris Vallejo, that space odyssey kind of stuff. And so, I mean, my art kind of my style, I guess, gravitates towards that darker horror kind of stuff, which I like too. There are aspects of that I like.
So, big fan of horror and stuff?
What's that?
You're a big fan of horror, like horror films and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, not necessarily. Like, I like them and stuff. I wouldn't say that's like what I'm like obsessed with.
Oh, okay.
I like more of like the campy, older kind of style comics and fun little shows and old cheesy cartoons, like from my art. Everybody thinks I'm into all these like indie like horror films and things.
Yeah.
Really, I guess my style kind of gravitates towards it.
No, I mean it definitely fits the part, but I mean just your style is just it's very unique, dude. You know what I'm saying? Which is dope, man. It's something that, as an artist, I think we strive to have that uniqueness, that personal style.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like, to be your own, to have your own style as an artist, but just as an illustrator, you kind of have to stand out.
Yeah.
In a sense that where if somebody looks at your stuff, they're like, "Dang, man, I want this dude to do this book or to do this," or and that's kind of what I'm going for with my stuff. Because, I mean, that's especially in making comic books. It was kind of a big deal in the '90s for everybody to kind of like draw like each other. Like, oh, we have to draw this kind of style and stuff. And it worked in the '90s because there were so many similar books and stories. But now you really have to like make an impact and make a difference to be noticed, and that's important. But also, like you said too, just like an artist, as an artist yourself, if you want to stand out for someone to notice you, just if you're doing, gallery work or whatever, you still have to be, have your own style. So
Yeah, no, definitely. I have one of my so long story short, we a lot of artists got together. We started our own little kind of crew with doing these little slap things. You know what I'm saying? These little postal slap shit. And there's a guy who's a buddy of mine called Chachi Fat, and he follows an artist who actually paints with his blood, dude.
that's intense.
I mean, and the guy's work is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
he's talented, but I mean, come on, dude. You know what I'm saying? With blood, dude. That's
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of artists. Like, you look at artists like Frida Kahlo and stuff, and if that was if I was to look at her art and say, like, do you like it, I would say no, I don't like it. There's so much stuff wrong with it, you know, just anatomically and proportionally. But her story, her art is not a representation of her skill. It's like a representation of her, like, her story and how it's like, how she's telling her story in life, and that part speaks to me. So that's what makes it good for me.
gotcha.
I mean, she still has skills where she knows how to use oils and stuff, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, if you want to paint with blood and that art is subjective, the whole
Maybe.
like the banana with the duct tape,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. That bullshit, man. That pissed me off.
somebody wants to drop $30,000 on it, that's cool.
Yeah, that's why I did that. Mock it up a little bit. Yeah. Banana in pajamas, right there for you guys.
Bananas in pajamas. That's
No, man. So, we're definitely super short on time. This usually runs for an hour. So, if anything, we either might have to reschedule or we'll see where it goes from here, man. Maybe get an extra half hour in a little later. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let's fast pace this a little bit, man. When did you get into drawing, dude, or how long you been drawing?
I was always into art. My dad was an art major in college.
Oh, dope.
So around the house, I mean, there was always like art supplies and art books, and we watched documentaries, and so and my dad could do everything. He could do pottery, clay, marble, sculpture. I mean, he did all kinds of stuff. His favorite though was oil painting. So
Okay.
I learned how to do that. But so very young, I was into like all kinds of arts. But it wasn't until in high school I started like wanting to draw and be an artist, and then I got into sports. I want to do sports, so I left art. And it wasn't until maybe about 5 or 6 years ago that I was like, all right, I'm going to be an artist. And I wasn't even a comic book artist. I just wanted to, feature my art in galleries and exhibits and stuff. And then later on, maybe about, 2 years later, I wanted to do illustrations. So I started, learning how to. I mean, I've always been into comics since I was a kid, so I knew how comics work, how they were laid out and stuff. Really started learning how to, tell a story on a page and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty dope, man. So, I mean, you're not new to the game, but I mean, as far as like taking it seriously, I guess you're fairly new at this. 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely say if I would have started maybe about when I was 19.
Yeah.
I probably where some of these other guys are now, but everybody has to. I had kids at a young age, and that took a lot of my time and stuff. And I'm newly married, kind of. We just celebrated our 1 year anniversary in November, so.
Yeah, congrats, dude.
It's hard, to juggle a family and stuff, and then trying to be a comic book artist also. So.
No, hey, you know what? And it's a good thing you said that, because that's a nice segue for, I guess, the next question. I mean, I talk to a lot of artists, and we're busy with lives as well. We're parents. We're coming up as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard trying to make and organize that time for us. But it's like, how do you do it, man? How do you get across those hurdles?
Yeah, it's just the mindset, man. I have to literally like tell myself like, I can't. And sometimes
Yeah.
when my wife is like, hey, like, we've had family and stuff, and we've had the holidays, and yesterday I didn't want to draw, and she's like, no, you need to go, do your pages. You have pages to do. So she's very supportive too, but it's that mindset of like, you got to time it out. Like, I want to do a page a day. I want to average a page a day, or I want to average at least 8 hours a day of art, whether
Yeah.
it's doodling, sketching, concept design, or inking a full page or whatever.
Dope. What's your favorite thing to do? Pencils,
I like
inks, colors?
I like inks. I mean, a lot of people like my colors, but I kind of I don't gravitate towards them. I tell people when they do commissions, like, I'd rather do a black and white piece. I can do color if you want.
Mm-hmm.
I like inks. That's just where my style falls into, and it's good, and I see things the way differently and stuff. But watercolor is like one of my favorite things to do. I just don't really have a lot of time to do it because it's
Oh, okay.
swimming. But I mean, I can do. Like I said, I grew up with everything. I grew up with oils and acrylics and pastels, and I know how to do all that stuff. The basic theories and techniques and everything. It's just there's no time in the day if I want to do comics. If I want to be like, oh, I just want to make gallery pieces and put them in a gallery, then yeah, I could do that. But,
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy, man. When did when did you join Instagram, or how long you been on Instagram here?
man, you know what? I've been on Instagram for a long time, but I really didn't start utilizing it for my career until
Okay.
5 years ago. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
before then, kids, pictures of my kid. Every now and then I'll post a picture of my kids or my family, but before then it was just like, oh, I like this,
Mm-hmm.
comic book, or I got this, action figure today, or whatever. But yeah, nothing crazy, nothing like this is my art, and I didn't start getting into hashtags until maybe like 2-3 years ago.
Oh
So
shit. Those help, dude. I learned that the
I
hard way.
found that out. I found that out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Um, you said you got kids, man. Any of them showing that artistic side?
My daughter, man, she
Yeah.
was like, well, see, so her uncle is her uncle and her mom. So her mom's brother is Robbie Rodriguez, the guy that created Spider Gwen.
Oh shit, nice.
Yeah, that's her uncle. So between her uncle and me being very heavily you know drawing comics, she's all about it. She's like wanting to draw all the time and wanting to create her comic book character, and so she's very adamant about it. My son, not too much. He's the typical boy at his age. They're both around like the 10-year mark, so he's into like whatever his friends are into,
Wow.
which is fine too, because I want them, I want them to be kids at this age.
All that Fortnite stuff.
No, he doesn't really gravitate towards all
No.
that yet.
Good.
Tried to, we were very wary about it at first. We don't know what it could help. He was like, at first he was like, can I play it? And we're like, well, let's see, check it out. And we're like, okay, we think it's okay. He was like, no, I'm not into it. I don't want to do it. You're stupid. So I was like, okay. He likes the Lego my connection. He likes his Lego games.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say you cut off a little bit. You know what? It's actually my daughter. She just turned 8, and same thing. She's like, oh, can I play Fortnite? Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, go ahead, play. And I mean, she doesn't really. I mean, she likes it because she sees it, on YouTube and whatnot. But she's not really like a diehard fan like that.
He likes the T-shirt, that Fortnite T-shirt. He doesn't know what it is. It just looks cool. Or he wants like this toy actually that's from Fortnite because it looks. He's not like super into it, which is cool. That's fine.
Any other social media besides the gram here?
Man, I use my Facebook, but it's kind of the same. Everything that gets put on my Instagram gets put on my Facebook.
Cool.
I read a lot of like news articles and stuff, so that's kind of personal.
Okay.
I got on. I don't even know the handle. It's like one of those ones they make up for you, where it's like Armando and then a long ass number after it. Because I don't know. I'm still trying to. Like, I don't know. I posted stuff and followed some people, but I still like. I'm very bad at like technology.
Oh, word, I got you, man. I hear that though. Yeah, I try to just get as many as I can, just so they don't take the name, really. You know,
Yeah,
like Twitter and uh, what is it? Man, I even forgot. But
I'm trying. I'm definitely thinking about doing like Patreon or some of those where I more like art geared and people can like sign up and see what projects I'm on and stuff. You know.
yeah, definitely, man. I could definitely see you doing some stuff like that. TikTok is also a new one that just been going crazy recently. So,
Yeah.
um, so you take commissions as well, right?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I just had a conversation the other day with somebody online because they're like I hate when they had said I hate when artists when I've been waiting for my commission for 2 months, but I see that artists post commissions open, you know, and I
Yeah.
comment, that's kind of a thing because people who are coming up as artists, like, some of us still have like other jobs and like some of us like have to keep our commissions open because we have to make a living, and even while we're doing like page work and two book like I'm doing right now, I'm doing two books and I've got like a cover on deck that I have to do, and then also I'm taking commissions. So my commission list is like 3 months out. I
Oh shit, man.
mean, but if you really, and I don't get mad when people say, well, I don't want to do it or that's too long, or I'm like, that's fine. Well, just hit me up whenever you feel like you want to get one or whatever.
No word.
Because that's just how it works. How it works with artists.
So here's another interesting question with a lot of artists that I've been talking, and especially this goes out for those who want to get into selling commissions. It's like pricing. How do you price it personally, and what do you think should be like a general idea of where we should start it out as artists selling our shit?
I think you should always price it at what you think it's worth.
Okay.
What I might think it's worth, somebody can turn around and sell it on eBay for twice as much, and there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I can't get mad because somebody pays, what I charge it for. Say I charge a $100 commission for something, they turn around and sell for $400 on eBay. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. That's just what it is. You charge it to the game, and you keep moving. But they paid what you thought it was worth, and that's something.
Okay.
Because you have artists like Scotty Young who's charging like $300 for like a little doodle,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what it's worth for him because he already put in the time, he already did the pages, the interior work, the grunt work. To now he can be at that point where he's like, this is what my doodles are worth. This is what my art is worth. And that's great. Like that's fantastic for him. I would never buy it. And so there are some people that might think like my stuff is high but that's the time I put into it. That's the journey that I'm going through. That's what I think it's worth. So that later down the road, if you want to sell it for, if I get to that point where my stuff's worth like $5,000 or, whatever, then, I can't say like they didn't pay what it was worth,
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's how you should look at it when you're doing your work. I don't really calculate like supplies and stuff because I'm gonna buy that stuff anyways. Like, if you're really a truly dedicated artist, you're buying supplies constantly anyways. Now, when it gets to that point where like, you got people like wanting 2-page spreads of paintings and inks, and yeah, that stuff gets pricey. But I mean, I don't have to have Copic markers. I can use regular, Prismacolors or whatever. I don't have to have Micron inks. I can use whatever to get the job done. So that's just kind of how you have to look at it.
Cool, man. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen the show, but we're definitely going through some of these crazy questions, man. Some answers that we're getting without asking the question, which is lovely, though, man. That's what it's all about, man. Just flowing. As far as commissions, bro, anything you turned down and like just because it's so fucking odd, you know what I mean?
Yeah. For the most part, like I'll do anything. Lately, I've had to do a lot of turn down a lot of portraits, not just because I don't want it. It's just so time consuming, and it's not something I really want to do. I won't do anything that's too like very graphic or erotic.
Yeah, yeah.
Or if it's tasteful, I'll do it. But if it's like I want Harley Quinn giving Joker a BJ, like I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but if it's something tasteful, like somebody, they want a nude of a character, or they want, and it makes sense, then I'll do it. But other than that, there's nothing that I really won't do. I mean, I've done, game characters, anime characters that I don't even know what they are, who they are. I've done those at conventions, and yeah, I think pretty much open to anything.
Oh, cool. It's pretty cool. It's interesting to know. Anything you had to turn away recently, just because it's like, yeah. Like your most recent person, I guess, or what's the wildest request? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know you touched on like Harley and the Joker,
Yeah,
but I mean, besides that,
I really haven't gotten any. Somebody asked me to do a like a Rick and Morty style, but like of a family portrait, but it was like Salvador Dali like or something. It was something weird like that. Like it was like a
okay, yeah.
like, and I was like, I'd like to try that. Like I would be open to it, but I can't because I have too much on my workload. Like that's too much time to take away. Like how am I going to plan this out? And and I was just like, sorry. So I recommended them. I always recommend people to artists, so
Yeah.
because I tell people all the time, tag me in your art, not because like I'll follow you, but if like I know that you draw like, okay, if I know that you draw like sports, athletes in a certain style, and somebody's like, hey, I'm looking to get a sports athlete, I'm like, I can't do that right now, but I know this person that'll do it.
Yeah.
Or I'm looking for a Rick and Morty style. Oh, I know this artist that draws Rick and Morty style. Like, go hit him up, So.
And that's awesome, bro. That makes me happy to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially now in today's world where everyone's, it's all about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Like, because there's a certain grind in an illustrator. Like, you do have to be hungry for it, but that doesn't mean you have to like shit on other artists.
Word.
Like you don't have to be like, well, my prices are lower than so and so's, or like, my stuff's better. And I like, no, just put out your work, what it's priced at. If people want, they'll either buy it or they won't. Like, and they'll either regret it or they won't. Oh man, I should have got it while this dude was having it at this price. Now, he only opens for like 5 commissions a year.
Yeah.
So.
Digital work. You mess with it?
I got my wife just bought me for Father's Day, she bought me an iPad Pro.
Oh.
So I started off okay messing with it, and then I got really bad and just started playing Candy Crush on it. I'm getting back into it. Once I finish these books and stuff, I plan on diving into it and exploring it a little bit more. It's a lot more intricate than what I thought it was. It's a lot more.
I gotcha.
Sure.
Gotcha, man. Let's see what else. Favorite character to draw?
Favorite character to draw, man. I don't really get a lot of requests. I like drawing Black Panther a lot. That's really fun. I always get the same type of Venom, Deadpool. I like drawing Thor. I mean, I like drawing everything, dude. There's just too much to put your own. I will say I don't like drawing the Ninja Turtles. Like,
what?
I don't know why. It's not that they're bad or they're bad characters. I just don't like drawing them. Like,
wow.
Stuff up and then it makes it look weird.
Well, you know what? I think we just ran out of time. Thank you. Let's talk to you again some other day.
Okay, man.
No, I'm just joking, dude.
Okay.
Nah, yeah, dude. No, that's cool. That's cool. You're the first to say that. Like for me, I usually don't like doing animals, like pets. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I hate doing portraits as well, just because I find it boring. But I mean, if the money's right, it talks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the problem too, is because I turn away a lot of portraits because people think, oh, because I charge a lot for my portraits, because my portraits, they go a lot goes into it, and and then they kind of shy away from the price, and that's fine. Like I said, that's cool. And the other thing is, sometimes I offer like plant. If it's a person that's willing to like work with me and stuff, I don't mind doing like half up front and half when I finish, you know, and so, but
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I hear that. Um, who influences you, bro, as far as artwork?
oh man, dude, so I have a lot of people that I feel like my style gravitates towards, and I don't think it's necessarily like because I'm like, oh man, let me try this thing. I just think like I love them so much, and I've looked at their work so much that it's like it's in my brain. Like Bill Sienkiewicz is one. His stuff has like a lot of energy in it. Like it's fantastic. It's beautiful work. And his stuff always changes. I feel like it's always like progressing to something new. I like that. Kyle Holtz is another fantastic artist. His stuff's real dark and ominous and spooky and scary, and I love that.
Dope.
Jeff, now I'm gonna say this very like respectfully. Jeff Deacle or Dekel, I don't know how you say his last name. Deacle. I'm not anywhere near his style. This dude is like you know who Alex Ross is, right? The guy that paints the realism and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's fantastic, but I think Jeff Deacle is on another level. His stuff is just so
Oh,
biting and real and like, oh, it's crazy, but it's also at the same time chaotic. It's very like, all over the place, and so I like his stuff a lot. So I think those kind of artists is not saying that I'm anywhere near their level, but like that seems to what my style kind of like influences my dark, heavy tone, and, high energy pieces.
no, definitely, man. Um, man, that's pretty interesting. You know what, Alex Ross is actually like my favorite artist. I just love his realism. But if you say Jeff Deco, I gotta definitely check him out, dude. You know what I'm saying?
It's fantastic. And Jeff Deacle started off as a graffiti artist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he awesome graffiti murals, and like he did a couple album covers for some musicians in LA. And then Marvel found him and was like, "Dude, do you want to do some covers?" And he was like, "Okay." Like, and he started off as a cover artist, and I think he's barely. And this was maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, and now he's barely starting to get to do some interior work, which is really cool because it's kind of challenging him a little bit as an artist because it's a lot different drawing a pinup or a cover as opposed to like telling a story.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's pretty good to watch his process on things.
When you're not drawing, man, what are you doing?
Oh man, I'm hanging with the family. My wife. We do a lot we like to go to those escape rooms.
Oh yeah, how are those, dude? I've never been, man.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. Do stuff with the kiddos. Just family stuff, nothing crazy. Every now and then we'll go for a drink or drink with dinner or something, but we don't. We're too old for that young bar hopping kind of thing.
Bro, any other hobbies, dude, besides drawing that you're into?
Nah, man. I mean, back in the day, I used to like to collect comics and figures and things, but other than that, man, drawing that's kind of that's it.
Yeah. You still collect figures?
No, not too much. Every now and then I'll buy like some pops or something or some cool little. My son, he wants to open up one of my own things. We'll play together, but other than that, like nothing crazy. Mostly I get stuff for gifts. Me and my wife kind of have. We're like, we won't get the stuff we like. We get it for gifts. Get her something, get me something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have my pull list that I like to read because I like to see, how artists progress and what can help me learn how to be a better storyteller.
Definitely. Some of your work, I seen one that you posted with Doctor Strange on one of the pops. That looks dope, dude.
Yeah, this guy actually commissioned me to do some
Yeah,
A
I'm digging that shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I take anything, man. If you want to throw me money, I'll try anything. I've never done this before, but
Ooh.
you want to draw on these pop figures, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do these. So I did them like I think like $10 a pop, and he did give me 20 of them, I think, or something like that. For students, he's a teacher, so
Okay. No, that's dope, dude. I'm definitely digging that. You're one of the first I seen to do that, actually.
yeah, he actually got like Sam De La Rosa, which is the guy that inked on Overmark Bagley Venom. I think he's kind of started doing that, but he would just do a Sharpie sketch, and I've seen a couple artists do it at conventions. You know, somebody, but hey, can you draw something on this? And so he was like, hey, can you do it? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to just do Sharpie. Let me like do ink or something, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Cool, man. You wanna sit around and chat for a little bit more, man? You
yeah,
got
that's
time for
fine.
that?
That's cool.
Cool. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and end this now because the stream is usually for about an hour. You get 60 minutes, and then it just shuts off. So we're getting to that point. We're about 2 minutes before we get to that deadline.
Okay, yeah.
You need a break or anything
No,
to?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Cool.
good. Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody who's 4 followers who's tuning in right now, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And many more. There's a second part. Join us back. We're about to end this. Come right back. Don't leave anywhere.
All right. Cool, man.
Cool.